Welcome back, everybody, to Fun in the Locker Room. It's March 9th, 2025, and we have a good amount to cover because it is the greatest month of the year for sports, which is March. This is our first episode since we talked about the NBA trade deadline, so we will bridge the gap from where we were then to now and how those trades have panned out. Unfortunately, we will have to talk about that. But surprising amount of NFL offseason that we'll talk about. And free agency hasn't even started. We haven't even gone to the draft. Some of the moves are the reason why I'm going to start drinking during the day on weekdays. So we'll get into those. Spring training is in full session. Maybe we'll get a little Mets preview from the fellas here because they have high aspirations. I don't. But, yeah, that's what we can expect. And we'll have our regular segments, of course, at the end. But for now, Rankle, what NFL offseason move would you like to talk about first?
Yeah, I think I'm going to rip the Band-Aid off and start talking about the move that occurred Friday night. Big offseason move for one of the quarterback-needy teams in the NFL. Getting what is their guy? Is Geno Smith really a starting quarterback in the NFL nowadays? Being sent to Las Vegas to reunite with Pete Carroll. Interesting move from the Raiders' point of view. I don't know how this really helps them. They're a terrible team that's just added a aging quarterback who had one or two good years. Seems like a lot. Third round pick for a guy like
that. I was going to say the complete opposite. I think it's been an interesting week for Seahawks fans. We at first, before we move into it, I'd like to have a moment of silence for releasing Mr. Tyler Lockett. 10 years, 60 touchdowns. So just take a moment of silence. Thank you. Great Seahawk. We released him the other day. I don't know if he's retiring or going elsewhere. And then later in the week, this was in the same 30-minute time span. DK Metcalf requests a trade from the Seahawks. I fell to my knees at work when I saw this, not going to lie. And he said he wanted to go to a contender, which was kind of a, fuck you. And then instead of doing that, trade request, and from what the reports are saying, there's a lot of teams that were interested. Obviously, it's, good receiver. And then we trade Geno Smith, like Rank just said. I don't know what this means in terms of DK, but I feel like a third round pick isn't enough, and maybe that's crazy. I think Geno Smith gets a lot of bad rap, but most Seahawks fans on Twitter are very heavily divided between Geno Smith is the problem versus Geno Smith might be one of the problems, but is far from the primary problem. I'm in the latter camp. I think he's very capable of being a game manager, a Sam Darnold type, if you will. And there was a lot of other glaring holes in the roster. To get back a third round pick for someone that was top 5 in yards, top 5 in completion percentage, top 5 in probably a bunch of other stats I'm forgetting, kind of disappointing. But if this means that we keep DK, maybe that's good. Are we running with Sam Howell? Are we drafting someone? I have no idea. But right now, there's not really a quarterback on this team. Rankle brought up the Raiders. I don't know what the fuck this means because they said that they think he's the franchise guy. I'm going to stop talking, but that's my 2 cents on the whole matter.
Did they really say that? Franchise guy?
Yep.
Wow.
They did say that. The Geno Smith to Brock Bowers connection for the next 10 years.
I guess that just sums up the Raiders organization in 3 words, 4 words. What does this do for them?
Nothing. I think me and Liam, coming from the New York area, have a very just different perspective on Geno Smith than you might from Seattle, his days in Seattle, because he was atrocious with the Jets. He was atrocious with the Giants. And, yeah, he had a good 3-year run in Seattle, but there's no way a 34-year-old Geno Smith can do anything with Las Vegas Raiders.
You know what? We wrote him off once, and he didn't write back. I want to see him do great things in Vegas.
I wish him the best. I think he'll be fondly remembered. Seattle. Rankle, quick side question for the Giants. Does some of the disdain towards Geno Smith have to do with the whole when they benched Eli for him? Like, obviously that wasn't something he could control, but I could see why that would be something where it's like, oh, let me put all this anger into him.
The Giants part of it, yes. The funny part for Geno Smith will always be the fact that he got sucker punched in his own locker room while being the starting quarterback of the Jets.
Yeah.
Fair.
I'm sorry, Truitt. It's been a rough go for Seahawks fans lately. You guys have not had it easy.
You know, if we don't trade DK, I have a feeling that like DK was like, I don't want Geno here anymore. And John Schneider has been very public about, and same with Mike McDonald, that like Geno is our guy going forward, which is why this is so surprising. Does that mean DK rescinds his trade request? I don't know. I'm also just so pleasantly surprised that if we are going to trade him, they said that there are many teams that are willing to give a first and a third.
Wow.
Which before that, I would have been happy with the second. I would have been realistically happy with the second in return. But a first and a third would be fucking ridiculous. I feel like I'm a DK realist. I don't think he's like this insane top 10. Maybe he's late top 10 receiver, but I think there's a lot left to be desired with him. Just personally watching Seahawks games, watching him bitch to the refs, kind of disappear on offense for a while. I think next season it was going to be clear that Smith and Jigba was going to be the number one guy and DK number two. So I think a first and a third is a huge overpay for him. I'm just going to be completely realistic. I love the guy, but maybe we're not even trading that all at this point.
Yeah, I think it all depends on what quarterback you get in there to be here, because I think we can all agree that Sam Howell was not the answer in Seattle. I don't think you want to start a season with Sam Howell, your number one quarterback. There are a lot of game manager quarterbacks out there in the NFL free agency pool right now that I think a bunch of them could be handpicked there. I know I threw out Sam Darnold, joking Kirk Cousins, but Justin Fields is also a free agent. Aaron Rodgers is out there. Russell Wilson reunion. Who knows?
That's interesting, Rank. Thanks for sending those names. Elsewhere in the NFC West, you have one of Rankle's favorite teams, the San Francisco 49ers, trading away Deebo Samuel, who seemed pretty disgruntled towards the end of his time there. What do you guys think about the Niners situation and the Commanders situation for that?
I really like this move for the Commanders because Jaden Daniels showed last year that he is a career revitalizer. Scary Terry, best year of his career. Eckler had a great season. B-Rob had a fantastic year. I think Deebo is going to do great things in the Commanders. Little trouble in paradise, huh, Rank? This is the start of the downfall for the Niners, and I'm here for it.
Commander side of the ball, that's no doubter. Great move. Get you wide receiver 2 in that offense.
For fifth, by the way, for a fifth-round pick.
Yeah, it was a steal. Absolute steal. 49ers side of the ball, he didn't play last year. And yes, they had a bad season last year, but he didn't play. He hasn't looked the same recently with the Niners. He hasn't been healthy. I think Juwan Jennings had a big coming out party last year that has give him and Ayuk get back healthy. The two of them together are a nice 1-2 punch there. And for some reason, they keep finding guys who put up 45 points in fantasy for no freaking reason on this 49ers offense. So I'm not too concerned. McCaffrey back, Kittle there. They have enough weapons. Deebo was a headache of a problem in the 49ers and surplus. They don't need him.
Rankle, I think that they are more than qualified to slap on the injury excuse for last season. I think they are more than qualified to do that if they want. But this season, if you have healthy McCaffrey, you're going to miss Ayuk for a couple games. But when he comes back, you have Jennings, you have healthy Kittle. If this offense continues to suffer, you will no longer be able to use that excuse. I like Juwan Jennings. even though he's a 49er. I don't see him and Ayuk being this insane, Randy Moss, Wes Welker type duo here.
Always Randy Moss.
What? Why? Yeah. What's going on there?
I had to find a way to throw that in there. I was either going to do that or Chris Carter and Randy Moss too. Yeah, right. I might be mixing up my times. I'm a little bearish on that idea, but they had an excuse for last year. Totally fair to use that excuse. Injuries,
I do agree though. The injury excuse works well for one season. If they get injured again next year, or the offense flounders, that's just injury-prone team. That's not longer an excuse.
Mm-hmm.
They're out of excuses.
Debo was such a disappointment last year. Like, I think Jared Goff had as many touchdown receptions as him, like, through the first 15 games, which is insane. So this is such a sell low to the point. I think 2 years ago you can maybe even get a third or second for him. To get a fifth is just totally selling low, and it's unfortunate, but sometimes it is what you have to do.
Yeah, it's tough. He probably held him hostage and was like, get me the hell out of here or I'm not going to play. I'm going to be injured again if you guys don't trade me.
He's on a pretty big contract too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He signed a big one like a year or two ago. I think it was recently. He was holding out and then he got his deal. He wanted to be paid he wanted to stop being used like a running back. He was pissed off about that.
Yeah.
A lot of diva wide receivers.
Liam, it looks like Derek Carr's back to stay for good. Congratulations on that.
Thanks. This is perfect opportunity for us to get 5 or 6 wins and miss out on some great future quarterbacks. So I'm super pumped for it.
I love how, like, when they restructured his deal, they showed the Bleacher Report New Orleans Saints eliminated as soon as. I'm sorry.
Restructuring the deal. Nobody does it like the Saints when it comes to fucking with the cap space. Nobody does it like that.
The future cap doesn't matter. It's all about the current.
It doesn't matter at all. You can always play funny money in New Orleans. It's great.
Funny money.
It's okay. All three of us have terrible quarterback situations.
Yeah.
Isn't DeVito coming back?
DeVito's the only guy on the roster.
Jesus Christ. I think you guys got to go and get Justin Fields.
I'm currently under the mindset of 1, get Fields and wait till next year and draft like Arch or Drew Aller or something like that. Mm-hmm. Or 2, you got to trade up for Cam Ward. I don't want Shedeur. Shedeur is not worth it. Cam Ward could be a difference maker. Shedeur is not.
Jackson Dart?
Absolutely not. Please. Round pick. I'm not. He's like the Daniel Jones. He's the J.J. McCarthy, the Zach Wilson, the overhyped guy who gets drafted way too early.
Disrespect to Daniel Jones, J.J. McCarthy, and the other guy you named.
Staying in New York. Sorry, I was just going to talk about the Jets moves.
We can do Jets, yeah.
Well, just quickly, I think they officially released Adams, and then Aaron Rodgers is a free agent, so that experiment's over. Grass is not always greener on the other side of the city, Rank.
So they traded a 3rd-round pick mid-season just for a quick dopamine hit to get Devontae Adams. That was it. Just one more puff of that crack pipe for Aaron Rodgers. That was it. What the hell are they doing? The Jets might be the most dysfunctional. Well, I was going to say dysfunctional franchise in sports, but that's no longer the case. They are the most dysfunctional NFL franchise. They're cursed. They must be cursed.
At this point, I'm happy they released Rodgers, happy they got Devontae Adams out. At this point, new regime, you got to wipe the slate clean and get these guys out of here because they're not helping your locker room. Garrett Wilson talks about wanting to get traded because he was annoyed with his target share. I'm not sure who the starting quarterback is here next year. Tyrod Taylor is currently the guy under contract. And
what?
Yeah, love that one.
That's crazy.
There's a lot of interesting teams this offseason. I'm curious where these couple run around league quarterbacks are going to end up because a lot of teams need them.
Chiefs traded away Joe Tooney, who was one of their better offensive linemen, I think, to the Bears, right? Which is great for the Bears. Could be fine for the Chiefs if they can figure out retooling, because O-line is really where they needed the most help. I think, if I remember correctly, he was playing like right guard. They moved him to left. It didn't work out because they had to move him to left because of injuries. Mahomes' blind side just got decimated. I guess it's more interesting to talk about what the Bears are going to do with this.
They got 2 offensive linemen, I think, in the past couple of weeks. The Bears, sure, I think I texted you this. This is the year you got to get on the Bears hype train again, because this is the year I'm really coming around the Bears. Ben Johnson, Caleb Williams, they got the offensive weapons. The offensive line gets better. You got to protect the quarterback and give Caleb Williams some time back there, and this team could be really good.
All right. So are we saying no excuses for the Bears this season? They have to be good?
They're running out of excuses.
All right.
The other quarterback situation I want to talk about is there's all this Matthew Stafford rumors of like he was going to Seattle, he was going to go to Las Vegas, he was going to the Giants, and he's just back in LA. It's probably one of the weirdest weak stories that never went anywhere.
Well, and it's weird too because they've been very publicly shopping Cooper Kupp around too.
Yeah. That kind of felt like Cooper Kupp and Stafford go somewhere. You get like Rodgers and Adams somewhere, Kupp and Stafford somewhere else, but it seems like everybody's just staying put. Maybe Kupp will stay put at this point.
I don't really get that just because Cooper Kupp is pretty adamant that he wanted to stay there. I don't know if you guys have seen this clip. I think when it dropped, it was Matt Stafford's wife on a podcast talking about like basically was insinuating like fuck you to the Rams, like we got to do what's best for us. Like she was like, oh, like Cooper is like one of like Matt's best friends on the team and they have such good chemistry together and they've won a Super Bowl together. Like if you're really about winning as the Rams, like why would you be doing this? She was just kind of like put him on blast a little bit. But right to your point, it's a lot of like rumors just for nothing to really happen.
Yeah. It didn't seem like it was going the right way. It seemed like I still remember the Giants met his money thing and met the trade package that the Rams wanted, but for some reason they still went back to LA. From his point of view, I'm not sure why he would ever want to come to the Giants. Like that's just with the Rams, he's got a good chance to win a Super Bowl, make good playoff pushes right now, but the Giants are not that.
Yeah, and at his age, I don't really see it making sense to switch teams. I mean, we just saw with Aaron Rodgers, I could see a very similar situation if they, if a team tried to trade for Stafford and they try to retool the roster, like you're just basically asking to follow in his footsteps. I think you just stay with the Rams. You've built something pretty cool there.
Yeah, definitely some success down the line. Other wide receiver news, because a couple wide receivers I think that are going to be moving around the league. I know the Patriots have been in a bunch of them, but T. Higgins got the double franchise tag. It seems like a lot of money, which I guess sucks from his point of view because he could have made so much more money in the open market again, but he's getting paid a lot of money for 1 year in Cincinnati.
Yeah, I mean, this also speaks volumes to the Bengals in general, and we'll touch on their now shopping Trey Hendrickson, who maybe their only good defensive player, led the league in sacks. But they've been really blackballing T. Higgins. You mentioned second franchise tag, a little disrespectful. I don't know why they're just so adamant not to shell out any money. You need to retain talent around Joe Burrow, and maybe they're realizing, hey, we'd rather have a bunch of good players than a couple great players and the rest of the roster being shitty. But the way they've just refused to pay Higgins and Trey Hendrickson is just like leaves a big question mark for me. I don't know if you guys feel the same.
To be honest, I feel like they should get rid of Higgins because not that he's the problem, and he's not a problem whatsoever. He's a really talented wide receiver there, but they're paying Jamar Chase, they're paying Joe Burrow, and they're paying all this money for an offense that great, this offense is really good, but as we saw last year, the offense is not going to be able to win them games by itself because how bad this defense is. Like Trey Henderson, the fact they got rid of him is ridiculous. They should have not franchise tag T, let T go to the off market, trade him somehow, and sign Henderson, sign some other defensive players that she give Joe Burrow a competent defense to not have him have to put up ridiculous passing yards to even get close to winning games.
Yeah, Frank, I can support that idea. I think that money can be better allocated. There's a lot of like just serviceable wide receivers out there that could complement Jamar Chase.
Yeah.
I think you still got to figure out the running game to some degree, but yeah, you got to fill out that defense. And you hit it right on the head. They should have taken this approach. And if you're going to shell out a big franchise tag, you should have done it for your defensive superstar and not just come out and be like, we're going to trade him.
I completely agree. This guy is top, I'd say he's like top 15 defensive player in the NFL.
Yeah.
He's unreal.
We might be getting some connection issues with
I
dearest Liam.
I think the rival show is trying to hack Liam. They're trying to disrupt the fun locker room.
They're anti-fun in the locker room.
Any other NFL news?
A rival show misery in the locker room, actually. What do you got, Rank?
I don't have any other NFL stuff I want to talk about unless you got anything.
No. Just a fun fact. I forgot the guy's name, but did you see the receiver that's like 160 pounds, let's call it, and he ran like the slowest 40 time for anyone in that weight class
No.
ever? You didn't? It was actually, I turned on the combine, which I've never done in the past, and they were like showing that. It was just kind of fucking ridiculous, but we will have draft news. We'll obviously have free agency news when all the big signings happen. But this has been a pretty eventful start to a NFL offseason, so that's pretty cool. I guess we can move into some NBA. Rankle, I heard you had trivia.
No, Liam's got the trivia.
Liam's got the trivia.
I have a trivia for you guys. Let me pull it up. Okay. Give me 1 second.
While Liam pulls up this trivia, Truett, did you watch the Celtics-Lakers game last night?
I went to a sports bar and I asked them to turn it on, and they said they were having trouble with the remotes, so I put it on my phone. So I got bits and pieces of it, and I just recall that third quarter could not have gone worse for the Lakers.
It was a terrible night for the Lakers all around. Luka got hurt twice.
Yeah, he got hit in the face so many times.
Yeah.
Right,
Okay.
I'll give it to you. That Celtics team is just such a fucking well-oiled machine, man.
Yeah,
It was a good game last night for them.
It was a good game. It was too close for comfort, though. They should have won by like 40.
They should have won by more.
It's a good thing that Tatum
There
did
have
go,
been-
go home, get out of here when they were up 25 in the first. So they didn't do that. Sorry, Liam. Go ahead.
Okay. Trivia time. There are 5 players that have led their team in the 5 statistical categories: points, rebounds, assists, steals, and blocks for an entire season. And we're talking per game. Can you guys name those 5 players that have done this?
I think Jokic is on his way to doing that. Does that count?
No, Jokic does not count.
Wilt.
Nope.
I feel like Luka's going to be here.
I don't know if Luka would have the blocks.
Yeah. I don't know. It just felt like that was this type of stat.
I feel like Russ or Oscar Robinson could be 2.
I don't think it's going to be Russ. Same reason with the blocks. Big O. He said 5 statistical categories?
Yeah.
That's tough to get the blocks in there.
Or it's tough to get the assists if you're a big man.
Yeah. Yeah, I like your train of thought with the Wilt because I think it has to be an old guy.
Oscar Robertson, Liam.
No.
Recent guys, old guys, in between. Where we're looking at.
There's a guy who's currently playing.
LeBron.
LeBron. He did this
Wow.
with the
We'll never know.
he did this on the Cavaliers 0809.
Okay, that makes
Jesus.
sense.
I'm gonna go with Hakeem Olajuwon.
No. Good thinking though.
Thank you. Tim Duncan.
Ooh, Clyde Drexler. Jordan. Do
Throw
it.
out Michael Jordan. Feel it, yeah.
Who?
Jordan.
No, but okay. I'll give you guys a hint. One of these guys did it in the 94-95 season, and I'd say he did it purely because of the absence of
Pippen.
his airness. Yes.
Yeah.
Scottie Pippen
Scottie
did do it.
Pippen.
And he averaged while Scottie did it, he averaged 2.9 steals per game.
Wow.
Pretty unbelievable. Yeah. Crazy.
Magic Johnson.
Not Magic.
Yes.
So you've got two of them. They're two of the greatest players of all time. Like, no, sorry, not it's Pippen, not Jordan.
You have three left. One of these guys still plays or is playing. He's very good. Obviously, he's very good.
Kevin Durant.
This man has won a DPOY. He's won an MVP. Yes, Giannis. Okay. The other guy has been retired. Well, the other two have been retired. One guy was early 2000s, 2010s, was where he made his bread and butter. The other guy played in the 70s.
$2010s, bread and butter. Kevin Garnett on the
Kevin
T-Wolves.
Garnett. Bang. Nice. And you guys have one more from the 70s. If you get this, I will shell out all my money in my bank account to both of you.
Oh shit, Rick. We gotta focus up.
All right. 70s.
Sidney Moncrief.
No. Oh God, I'm scared. No.
You think we're gonna stumble upon it? I'm excited.
Would you guys like his numbers?
Sure.
He led his team with 14.2 points per game,
Oh no.
13 rebounds, 4 assists, 1.1 steals per game, and 0.9 blocks per game, all leading his team.
What a
Pistol
bum
Pete?
team.
Huh?
Pistol Pete.
No. You think Pistol Pete was only averaging 14 a game? That's disrespectful. Come on, Grant.
How many rebounds did you say?
13.
This guy's got to be like a big man, right?
Yeah. I think he was
Big man on a shit team.
Dave
Team doesn't
Cowan.
have-
Who did you say?
Dave Cowens.
Oh
Holy
no!
shit!
No!
Pay up, baby! Pay up!
Oh no! Yes, it's Dave Cowens. How crazy is that?
Vertical with the snipe.
The
Nice
bad
rank.
70 Celtics.
Yeah, he played for the
Yeah,
terrible Knicks.
that's nuts. Jesus.
Good trivia.
Good work,
W
Frank.
Rankle. W Rankle.
I have my own segue trivia into our NBA news. I have two teams that I'm looking at, and one team traded a superstar to the other team. and the team that has received the superstar is 11-2 since the trade, and the team that has traded away the superstar is 4-10 since the trade. Can you guess those two teams?
All right, man. What? Like, come on, bro. There's
Wait,
no
It's
need
not
for
the
that.
Mavericks. It's not the Mavericks and the Lakers. It's not the Mavericks. I wouldn't do that to you. That would be really mean.
The Spurs and the Kings.
No.
Who did Mičić get traded to?
No.
Are you saying the superstars is like Wizards Bucks?
No.
Oh, Warriors Heat.
Thank you. This one was for you, Rank. Yes, the Warriors, I feel like it's very slept on, are 11-2 since trading for Jimmy Butler. And the Heat, who seems like they still want to contend a little bit, are 4-10 since that trade. Rankle, as a resident kind of Warriors fan, how have you been feeling about this new look Dubs?
It's so much pressure off Curry, so much pressure off Jimmy Butler. They're both playing freer, happier, exciting. This is it's a slightly different Warriors team than we saw back when it was Stephen Clay and KD and stuff like that. It's less threes to an extent, but the ball movement's really nice. Their positioning is great. Their defense has improved. This Warriors team, there's a top three, I think, in the top four in the Western Conference of the Warriors, Lakers, Nuggets, and Thunder. And it's going to be a fun playoffs for all of them.
Rank, I think the rest of the West has really fallen a little bit. Obviously, like the Kings will not be contending. Can't expect the Spurs to anymore without Wemby, but the Rockets have been doing pretty poorly. The Grizzlies have been doing pretty poorly. This is really the opportunity for, like you said, the Warriors to kind of cement themselves and get in that top four. And to your point, it's just, I think the youth movement was good in 2022 when they won. I think it was kind of an anomaly. I don't think they could ever recreate that. Like, you look at that roster, and it's kind of, in hindsight, like crazy that they won. Like, Jordan Poole was starting over Clay, which is kind of fucking ridiculous if you think about it. But the Warriors have always won championships with capable veterans. In all those teams, they took a lot of pressure off of Curry. I think the Jimmy Butler situation is no different. You have a guy that knows how to win. They were both playing Superman for their respective teams. To your point, Rank, they come in very synergistic together. I think it's a great situation, and the wins. It's not surprising that it's translating to wins.
They're a fun team to watch. Can we talk about the Knicks and the fact that I think they're 0-7 against the top three teams in the NBA?
Or they're 0-9 against the top four teams.
Yeah, Rick, what are your thoughts on that?
I don't. I hate to say it, but since he's a Villanova guy, but the Mikal Bridges trade has been terrible. He has not shown up to them in the ways they expect him to. He's not had the same scoring prowess he had with the Nets last year, and that's really hurt them. The fact that it is now just Jalen Brunson who shows up every night. Cat is great when he shows up, but he's not always consistently game in, game out. And you lost the DiVincenzo, heart grind 3-point shooting, as well as some other depth they had. Like the Hartenstein loss is huge. Like that is a huge loss that this team is still reeling off of. Yes, this team is more talented than last year's team, I think, but they haven't put it all together collectively as a unit, game in, game out.
Yes, I completely agree, Rank. I think they are missing the most key thing you need in the playoffs. I think outside of superstars, whatever, you need somebody that can protect the rim, and they do not have that right now with their current roster. They do not have a big or a guy that can play big and protect the rim. You look at the Celtics, Tatum plays center for them, and he protects the rim. Jared Allen has been unbelievable. Evan Mobley's been unbelievable for the Cavs. The Thunder have Chet Ihart. The Knicks do not have a guy at all that can do that.
When Robinson's healthy, it's a little different. Brings some defensive ability to that team, but he's never healthy. You can't rely on him whatsoever.
Yeah, that's
He just
Polar
made
Bear
the
in
season
Arlington,
debut,
Texas.
which is crazy. Rank, I think you hit it right on the head. It does seem, I think everyone, all fans agree on this, the magic that they had last year just didn't translate, and they're still good because Brunson and Cat are having very productive years. But whatever made that team special, maybe it was just having 5 guys that played really well together, passing the ball, established the in and out game with iHeart. It's just not really there anymore. The reliance on Brunson and Cat is so different than it was last year.
I
disagree with that.
I think they might be better in the playoffs this year than they were last year. Just for this aspect of, yes, they worked really well together, but when it got to crunch time, they still relied on Brunson a lot. Like, Brunson had to put his team on his back plenty of times last year in the playoffs. And I do think Cat, to an extent, can take some of that off him. But I'm really curious to see what this team looks like, because you're looking at a second-round playoff series against the Celtics, and I don't think anybody would pick the Knicks to win a 7-game series against the Celtics right now.
It's also a team that I think these were pretty obvious. It was obvious what was, what they needed, and they didn't really go out at the deadline and get any depth, and that might just be attributable to the fact they don't have any assets. Like, that was a huge overpay for Mikal. Whether it works out with him or not, like, that was 4 or so first-round picks that are just gone. No longer assets to try and go get a 6-man or another starter. They're kind of stuck with this roster, for better or for worse.
Yeah, I really think they're going to be kicking themselves, especially this offseason, when a guy like Giannis could be available and he could go for 5 or 6 first-round picks, and I think every single one of us would sit here and say we'd rather Giannis than Mikal Bridges. No offense to Mikal, like, great Villanova basketball player, but we would all take Giannis over him.
Yeah, I agree with you. Another thing, and we saw this be a problem last year in the playoffs, minutes. Josh Hart is playing so many minutes. I can't find it for some reason. Cat, top 10 in minutes per games. Like, that is what was their problem last time, is they got injured as soon as they got to the playoffs. I'm just concerned, and I think Liam dropped, and so I can say this. Kyrie, it's not a surprise that he tore his ACL after playing the most minutes since the Luka trade in the entire NBA. Like, you can't. I know Thibodeau's got his thing, but you can't do this to them.
Is Tibbs the issue? Did you think this team would be better with a different head coach?
That's an interesting question. I don't know. I think Tibbs is partially attributable to their rise the last couple seasons. I don't know. What do you think?
I think he has done a really good job of building the team chemistry, the camaraderie, the defensive identity they had last year, which they've kind of lost this season to a lot of expect. Like, I expect them to be way better defensively with Mikal and OG and Josh Hart. Like, yeah, you lost a little bit with Hardenstein, but I feel like they had better wing defenders than they've played so far this year. But I really think not that coaches are replaceable, but a lot of coaches do is picking up matchups and playing the time game. And the fact that he's playing these guys so many minutes, that's just an issue waiting to happen. I really think a different coach in here to have more balance, more rest time for some of these guys would really make a big difference.
Yeah, and now you have no Brunson for 2 to 3 weeks with the ankle injury. You're going to be pressing the remaining stars, minutes. They're going to get pretty up there, and I don't know, Rank. You make a good point about that.
I'm hoping they can somehow figure out how to tread water till then, because they're not really getting catch. They're kind of locked into a 3 seed. Even fall into a 4 seed's not terrible. The fact of, like, all right, great, you have to play Cleveland in the second round rather than Boston. I don't think there's much of a difference there from their point of view. Some people would say you'd rather play the Cavaliers than Boston in the second round. So I hope they can get some rest. But yeah, you're right. They're going to have to push these guys to hold on to these spots in the playoffs.
Just another thing. I'm looking right now at the overtime in that Lakers game. Outside of the first 2 shots by Cat and OG, and then up until Jalen Brunson's injury in overtime, every shot attempt and make was through Jalen Brunson in that overtime, which I just think they have a crazy reliance on him. And he's been super productive. Shout out to Jalen Brunson, but it's just not what they had last year. Like, not to this degree. But I mean, you know what? You could argue in the NBA that when it gets to the playoffs, you need to have a top 5, top 10 player taking most of your shots, anyways. But I think we could all agree that it's not great to establish that dependence early on.
It is not. We'll see I'm curious to see this playoffs for lots of different reasons, but the Knicks are definitely one of the teams that I'm curious to see how they do.
I've been constantly badgering Mr. Rankle about the Cavaliers. I would love just for you to touch on that real quick while we're on.
Yeah, I was thinking about this last night, actually, because I kind of expected this question to come on the show again today. And I will tell you that when the season started, my fear of the Cavs was here. And the fear has grown to an extent. Like, I will definitely won't lie to you that I'm definitely more scared of them now than I was at the beginning of the season. Do I think they beat us in a 7-game series? No. Am I intrigued by the series? Yes. And I think that's probably going to be the toughest series we'll play in the Eastern Conference, obviously. I wouldn't say I'm scared of them, but they're definitely giving me some thoughts.
Rankle, what are you most scared of?
I think the versatility. I think Mobley's playing much better these days, and if Porzingis isn't healthy and we can't have that full compilation of lineups, like the Cavs have the depth that we don't fully have. And that's the part that scares me to an extent.
What do you think?
Trying to think what his question was. Okay, you bring up the depth. Liam, what was your question?
Sorry, question for you guys. What do you think about the acquisition or their acquisition of DeAndre Hunter, and what do you think is that? How do you think that's going to help them come playoff time? Because I really, really like that deal.
I think it's a great deal. It adds some wing defenders, adds extra scoring. Another player who's could start on this team, starts on a lot of teams in the NBA, and maybe come off the bench for them. This is just another great piece for this Cavs team that just continues to put pieces and pieces together. Like, I can't really tell you I'm not afraid of a team that's 53-10. Like, that's ridiculous.
Yeah. Okay. Follow-up question. Could DeAndre Hunter be the worst?
I don't think he's the worst. I'm curious what was at the end of that sentence after that.
Sorry. Is he the worst starter on a championship team?
Yes.
Can he be?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm glad we're all in the same boat there. I think this Cavs team is loaded and they're scary.
I think even if he doesn't start, he could very well be like that Andre Iguodala guy that finishes lineups.
Mm-hmm.
Comes in, when you need crunch time minutes and just you need to have defense and capable shooting across the entire lineup. Could totally see him filling that role. Rank, I want to ask you about a team. I know I've been pressing you on the Cavs. I want to press you a little bit on a team that I don't think is getting enough love for how they've kind of like figured it out to some degree, and that's the Milwaukee Bucks. I know that like the Celtics and the Bucks have had their battles, and most recently the Celtics have been the winner. But if you look at the way that Dame and Giannis are playing now, I can't speak to for the rest of the roster. I think Brook Lopez is seriously dealing with some shot IQ issues. But are you afraid of Dame and Giannis come playoff time?
Afraid is the wrong word, because we have the Giannis stopper and Al Horford no matter how old he gets. But the Bucks have really figured it out. I think the Kyle Kuzma trade, as much as we clowned at the time, has actually helped unlock these guys to an extent, give them more floor spacing, take some pressure off them to an extent. It's taken them a year and a half, I guess, at this point to kind of figure out how Dame and Giannis are going to play together. I'm not sure if they fully figured it out yet. I'm not going to give them that yet. But if they can unlock those two guys together, they are a scarier team down the stretch.
Somehow the two of them are overcoming the troubles of having Doc Rivers as your coach.
It is one of the toughest things to overcome. That's why the Celtics 07 team is one of the best teams of all time.
That's pretty good.
Okay.
What do
Question
you
for you guys.
go?
I
Go ahead.
really want to hit on this. What is the ceiling of this current Lakers team? Do you think that they can win a championship the way they're constructed?
Yes, I do think they can.
Wow.
I think
Okay, rank.
if you have the two of the top 10 players in the NBA on a team together, and actually a decent supporting cast of guys that can all make shots and do things, it would be foolish for me to say they can't win a championship.
Wow,
Clip that,
Rank.
chat.
I'm
Somebody
smiling
clip
ear
that.
to ear hearing that. Yeah, clip that.
Rank, you make a great point about the supporting cast, and I think the Luka trade really silenced all discussion of that. But even before the Luka trade, when they had Anthony Davis, they were around 10 games above 500 because I think they finally figured out this supporting cast defensively. I can't say the same. I mean, they're smart offensively. You're not going to ask Jared Vanderbilt to go out and get you a clutch bucket. You're not going to do that. You're not going to ask Jackson Hayes to be some sort of dominant center, get you 20 points. But all of these guys that are on the floor for them just played well defensively. JJ Redick, whatever he did, I don't know what he's doing to them in the locker room, but he's basically got them locked into this defensive identity. And what? Something funny?
Yeah, dude. I think obviously they're doing magical things in their locker room. Since the Luka trade, they've had the best defense in the NBA. And that's crazy to say. I think I've seen the stat since the Luka trade. Jackson Hayes has been the best defensive player in the NBA. Like
That's
that's
crazy.
ridiculous.
He was close to being replaced. He got the fire lit under him.
Yeah, yeah. But I agree with you, Rank. I think you have two of the greatest playoff performers on a team. This team could beat any team in the NBA in a 7-game series. True, I hate to say this. If they play the Thunder, this is a classic experience versus no experience.
Yeah. I'm gonna look at the roster right now, see if we play them in the regular season at all.
These top 4 teams
I-
in the Western Conference, I said earlier, but a Lakers Nuggets series should be great. Really contrasting styles there. Thunder versus any of these teams, it's going to be a fun playoff series.
Yes.
And I think it's going to come down to the similar last year of the Mavs made it there, but it was because of who they played to get there. That I think is also going to indicate which one of these 4 teams get there, what their road to the finals is.
Yeah, that's a very good point. The Lakers play a back-to-back series versus the Thunder in early April, so
Wow.
we might get a little test of what's to happen right before the season ends.
That's going to be very exciting.
Yeah, I'm a little scared of what Luka and LeBron could do to my precious team. I don't want to. This is going to sound so corny. I'm going to sound like one of those Glazers on Twitter, but something's unlocked something. LeBron, he's got some motivation.
Mm-hmm.
He's got a 5th prime entering, if you will.
Speaking of LeBron, did you guys see the Stephen A. Smith clips with LeBron?
Yes.
Ripping him apart.
That's why he's the GOAT.
I haven't watched Stephen A.'s response. I don't know if any of you guys did.
I did.
He did not come to me as a basketball player. He came to me as a father.
Jesus.
Dude, that is why he's the GOAT. He ripped him a new asshole and then boom, turned it on in overtime and dog walked the Knicks. Oh, God. How can you not love the king?
I think it's crazy he did that. You just add more fuel to the fire.
Yeah, the whole Bronny storyline the entire season is there's a lot of different ways to look at it. Bronny's low-key cooking in the G League. Just want to say that.
That's fine.
But it's tough because LeBron didn't have I'm totally glazing him. He didn't have a dad growing up, so like, this is his chance to like be a father and defend his son. When he's getting unfairly criticized, but like, it's unfortunate it was so public. Like LeBron probably should have been like, yo, meet me in the parking lot afterwards. We'll like, talk
Yo.
No, nothing physical. Just like let's not talk like courtside of an overtime game.
I don't know, dude.
On
I kind of liked he did it public because this shows like that you got to stop playing with him, man. And out of anyone that you can criticize, I feel like at this point LeBron is the last guy that you should be taking shots at, whether it's him or his family. Like, come on, the dude's proven it time and time again. How much more storyline do you need to create? How many more fabrications do you need to put out about this man?
You should have talked about it in the locker room. Could have had some fun in the locker room themselves.
It would have been a lot of fun. It would not have been a lot of fun for Mr. Stephen A. That's called a skull to my knee in the locker room. Anything else we got exciting going on in the NBA?
Not for me. I have a baseball question for you guys.
Let's do it.
Yeah, let's talk baseball.
Spring training's been going around, and I feel like every year, especially recently, the amount of injuries that occur in spring training is getting ridiculous. Like, I think there are more injuries during baseball spring training than there are during NFL preseason, which is ridiculous. And I want to know, why can they not figure this stuff out, that they can stop these guys from getting injured? Like, figure out these workout programs, figure out these ramp ups. Like, it's just, Alvarez is out for a couple weeks now. I just saw that.
Yeah.
It's getting ridiculous.
Why is that ranked? Like, why? Like, is there some factor you can point towards?
I don't know. It just, Cole's gotten injured. Like, it seems to be
Is
pitchers.
it like a 0 to 100? Is it like a 0 to 100 type thing? Like, they go from doing nothing to like actually throwing, fucking 95. And it's like, holy shit! Like, didn't warm me up at all.
That's the point of this all. I think maybe it's the trainers, maybe it's the things. Like, this didn't used to happen, and they didn't used to coddle the guys so much. It seems like they're starting coddling the guys, and they're getting injured more. I don't understand the relationship. Do you have any thoughts, Liam?
No, I think you make a great point. I don't know. We've talked about this before. The whole like science of baseball and the whole movement to get pitchers to throw hard and spin the ball as much as they can. While it may have good results in terms of like, oh, I can strike more people out, it shortens careers. Like, you look at guys, I saw stat, like, we have more guys in the minors that are like 24, 25, 26. Guys used to be like 20 in the minors and they'd come up and they'd be 21 playing baseball. That's like rare nowadays. Like, what Jackson Merrill did last year is so rare. An actual young guy coming up. Now we have, Pete Alonso was 24 when he was a rookie. It's nuts. I'm with you, Rank. I think these guys are coddled too much, and then they're told to go out and spin the ball super hard, and of course their elbows are going to explode. It's just, I don't know. I don't know what the fix is to this, though. You know what I mean?
Really
like,
suck.
what can you do?
It sucks watching seasons get ruined before they even start, and it just seems to happen more and more every year.
Yeah.
Here's something on a lighter note. Did you guys enjoy seeing when Rob Thompson was interviewed and they gave up 3 straight home runs on 3 pitches?
Never.
All he could do was just watch it happen. Guys getting interviewed on national TV. Just watching.
That first home run was a tank too. The grand slam. Oh my god! He's like, that looked like a changeup. Got to work on that velocity there.
What is opening day?
End of March.
End of March. I just want to say, and I sent this to you guys yesterday, but the notification popped up. Acuna scores, Soto doubles, Mets 1-0. And to see that notification, It just brought so much joy to my heart. I know it's not Ronald Acuna, but man, I'm very excited as a Mets fan right now. Frank, we're in for it this season.
Oh, it's gonna be great. The first weekend, Mets at the Astros. Nice way to start the season. It's going the NL is going to be a dogfight. There's no doubt about it. There are some great teams. I would say if you think about the top 10 teams of baseball, 7 of them or 8 of them are coming out of the National League. It is not going to be pretty for us. It's going to be a fight for those wild card spots, fight for those division crowns. We're going to be in it. It's going to be a fun season.
Well, I'm pessimistic, but we'll see what happens.
You gotta
Sorry,
believe.
I'm very happy for you guys, but it's not been a good off season for me. Any other news before we move on to some hoops?
No other baseball news for me right now.
Nothing for me.
All right, let's get it pumped, baby. Hoops grid coming your way. This is maybe we shouldn't do this. You'll see in a second.
Oh,
Oh,
Ooh.
oh, all right.
Okay.
We're starting hot. I love it. Okay. All right. There you go. Didn't put in Luca for you.
Thank you.
Oh, I got a great one here. P-Pat, baby. Oh, damn. I thought that would have been better. Used to call him PP when he was on the Thunder.
Nuggets, Rockets, Ish Smith.
Nice. It would be wrong not to have Ish in there. Oh,
Oh,
damn. Ooh, that's gross.
Can we get El Farouk Aminu somewhere on this board? I know he can fit.
Didn't he play for the Mavs at one point?
He did.
Oh.
Mavs Clippers, maybe? Mavs Clips.
Hmm.
That's disappointing.
Oh my God, it's worse. Oh my
oh my
God,
God.
that was horrible. Rankle, anything out of you? I need your magic.
JaVale McGee, but that's going to be too obvious for Nuggets Lakers.
Nuggets Lakers Steve Blake, maybe?
Nice. Oh, damn.
There you go,
Not even
Liam.
a diamond?
Not even a.
Did Nick Young play for the Raptors?
I don't know.
Raptors Lakers.
No, unfortunately not.
For can we get Will Barton on this one?
Yeah, I don't know where he would go. Was he on the Was he a Rocket?
Maybe.
Mm.
I know he's Nuggets.
Raptors Lakers, Jose Calderon.
Ooh, nice.
Oh,
How about Lit Insanity?
Can we get Fred Van
Oh,
Meet on
you-
there? Oh,
Fred VanVleet.
Van Fleet, my bad. Sorry.
Oh,
I'm gonna leave that there, so you got to sit with what you've done, Liam.
Okay.
is Dennis Schroeder think better than Jose Calderon in the middle? No.
No, unfortunately not. This is a poor showing out of us.
Who's the Mavs Rocket player, Liam?
I'm thinking right now. Boban.
Jason Terry?
Boban.
Corey Brewer?
Nice, Rank. Chandler Parsons.
Oh, he's got the polo. Oh, Jesus.
Steve Novak?
Oh, God, it's getting worse. Nice,
Yeah.
Rank. Good snipes. Good
Bang.
snipe. Let's go.
And we're back. Sorry, Trude, I think you got cut off saying something. Was there something?
Yeah, you want to
No,
join?
I just said I'm unable to think of somebody to replace Ish Smith.
Gotcha.
Jalen Pickett for Ish Smith?
Wow.
Okay. Jesus. Who is that, Rank?
He played for Penn State. I knew he played for the Nuggets. I'm not sure he played for Rockets. Jeff Green, top left.
Over here?
Yeah.
Uncle Jeff. Oh.
That's worse. Ty Lawson.
Oh, that's not bad.
Can we get Moses Brown on this board somehow? I don't know if we can. This is a weird one.
Oh, look at that photo. I have a feeling that was going to be worse.
I've got the one for Raptors Clippers. It's got to be Turkoglu.
It's my goat. Yes.
I think we might just have to give in.
Bad showing.
They
Hedo.
can't all be winners. That's okay.
Do it. This one better be good. We'll take it.
82%. That's pretty good.
Not bad. No one else did good either. That's just fucked up, man.
Whoa. That's screwed up, man.
That's fucked up. That's not cool.
All right. Let us know how you feel, Truett. Tell us how you feel.
Were you able to give us
I'm ready
sports
for some
birthdays?
birthdays, dude.
Yeah, I have some
Fucking
sports
birthdays.
birthdays for us, fellas.
All right.
All right, starting over in baseball. We'll start off with one of Truett's favorite players of all time, Brian Bacak. Happy birthday, BB. Mr. Bacak getting it done. Happy 40th, man.
Pump the
Daniel
Raptors.
Hudson. Daniel Hudson's birthday is today. Happy birthday to Daniel Hudson.
Hey, birthday.
Yenier
Cakes, flowers,
Cano.
maybe.
Yep. Cakes and candles, my guy. Yenier Cano turns 31.
Nice.
Aaron Boone turns 52 today. Wow. I
Yeah,
hope
someone
that
has to
he
take the
has
job.
a terrible birthday today.
He's gonna have a terrible season. So
Yeah, I hope he stubs his toe. Uh,
Damn. That is fucking cruel, man.
all right, this can't be real. A guy by the name of Shooty Babbitt turned 68 today. Don't know who you are. Uh, if you're listening, Mr. Babbitt, Mr. Shooty, I hope you have a great day. Dirty. um, moving
Oh, boy.
over.
Okay.
Moving over to basketball, future Hall of Famer Usman Garuba turns 23 today. One of
Usman.
Rank's favorite players of all time, Mahmoud Abdul Rauf, celebrates his
I didn't-
birthday today. Happy
I
birthday.
didn't know you had a big connection to him, Rank. Wow.
I've got his jersey in the closet. I'll wear it next show.
Please do.
That's quite the mouthful there. Oh boy. Um, Jeffrey Lamp turns 53 today. Shout out Big Jeff. Oh, no way. One of the greatest podcasters of our generation, Matt Barnes, celebrates his birthday today, too.
So
Him and Derek Fisher will not be getting along and celebrating together.
I don't think he's gonna get a birthday text from him.
That's who we look up to, guys. Matt Barnes is our hero. That's who we're trying to be in this podcast game.
But just replicate his podcast, nothing else in his life.
Yes. One of Rankle's favorite fantasy guys, Najee Harris, celebrates his birthday today. Shout out Big Najee.
Hate him.
Sirvokia Grant. Happy birthday to you, Sirvokia. SIR apostrophe Vokia. Beautiful
I
name.
wish you had all spelled Vokia too.
This can't be real. This. Truett, I know what jersey I'm going to get you for your birthday. Happy birthday to Mr. BJ McNutt.
Come on. That guy's just set up to fail.
I don't think that can be topped, so we'll end it off with Mr. McNutt. I hope you have.
Jay McNutt.
I hope your birthday is full of warm surprises, my friend.
Warm? Oh, jeez. I don't think I can sign off. I think one of you guys needs to do it.
I'd like to say that I have not been able to find Mr. McNutt online.
BJ McNutt. I'll send you the.
A potential sports prep guy from high school.
I'll send the screenshot.
Terry McNutt committed to Oregon this season, 5-star recruit.
No,
Terry.
BJ McNutt, the 44-year-old.
Shout out Monica McNutt though.
Yeah, I'm looking at his playing career right now on the website, and there just isn't one. So maybe that was somebody inputted a funny one for us. I don't
I'd
know.
like to also say, looking up BJ McNutt on the Google, there is somebody by the name of Barbara. BJ is her nickname, McNutt, who retired recently from Capital Management Group.
I think it's time to end the
Oh.
show.
Rank, this guy he's in the McNeese College Hall of Fame.
Wow.
McNutt is?
Yup, BJ McNutt.
Oh, you're right. 2002.
Don't sleep.
I hope he's having a great birthday out there.
You know what he's. Never mind. Sorry.
Thanks everybody for watching. Hope your birthday's as good as BJ McNuts. We got a lot coming towards us. We didn't even get a touch on the fucking travesty that is Villanova basketball, but the Big East tournament's going to be happening soon. Hopefully we can get you some content around that. Moving into March Madness. NBA season's continuing. Opening day will be soon. It's a great time to hit the notification bell. It's a great time to visit some of our sponsors too. We have to say goodbye to a longtime sponsor of ours, Hooters. Fortunately going bankrupt. You should be like Devin Booker and donate. I know he's a huge fan of the franchise. We actually, when we went and signed the contract with Hooters for the sponsorship, we got to meet Devin Booker. He was actually eating there. He had been there for 3 hours when we got there.
Yeah, it was weird. He was only drinking milk for some reason.
Wouldn't share either. He's very possessive.
Yeah, very.
Okay. All right. We'll see all you guys at the next episode. Don't forget to hit subscribe. This has been Fun in the Locker Room. We'll see you soon. Have a good one.